Hello students, this is my second lecture on this topic, forensic psychiatry. In the first lecture, we learned many key terms used in psychiatry. The last topic we discussed in the last lecture was delusion. Now we will understand the medico-legal aspects or medico-legal importance of delusion. The first and foremost medico-legal importance of delusion is to determine the criminal responsibility. That means कि अगर कोई क्राइम हुआ है और क्राइम करने वाला भी हमारे पास है, लेकिन हमें ये जानना कि जिसने क्राइम किया है क्या हम उसे क्रिमिनल कह सकते हैं या नहीं. Regarding that, there is a rule called McNaughton's rule, which we will learn in the next slide. Now coming to the second medico-legal importance, the section 59 of the Indian Succession Act 1925 states that every person of sound mind, not being a minor, may dispose of his property by will. That is, मैंने जैसे पिछले क्लास में कहा था कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति कॉम्पोस मेंटिस है, मीन्स ऑफ कंपोज माइंड, देन ओनली ही कैन राइट अ वैलिड विल. मैकनॉटन्स रूल ये कहता है कि यदि कोई व्यक्ति मेंटली इल है तब उसे दोषी करार तभी दिया जा सकता है किसी उसके अपराध के लिए यदि वो अपराध करते समय अपने पूरे होशो हवास में था. इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर उसे सही गलत की जानकारी अगर नहीं है तो फिर उसे उसके क्राइम के लिए दोषी नहीं ठहराया जा सकता. You will be surprised to know that McNaughton was not any forensic pathologist or anything like that, but McNaughton एक व्यक्ति था जिसने डिल्यूजन में आकर किसी का कत्ल किया था और उसी के नाम पर ये McNaughton's rule है. Now we will discuss other key terms used in psychiatry. Fugue is a state of altered awareness in which a person forgets his or her identity and he or she assumes a new identity. The person leaves his or her home and wanders here and there. Hallucination is a false sense perception without any stimulus to produce it. A vivid dream-like hallucination is called hypnagogic hallucination, and when the patient knows that the stimulus in the mind is called pseudo-hallucination. Now coming to the types of hallucination. Illusion is a false interpretation with a sense of an external object or stimulus which has a real existence, like perceiving a rope as a snake or a tree as a ghost. This is called an illusion. An impulse is a sudden irresistible urge compelling a person to perform some action without motive or forethought. Note down, the urge is sudden and irresistible, and this is without any motive. Now coming to the types of impulses. Kleptomania is an irresistible desire to steal objects. Dyspomania is an irresistible desire to consume alcohol. Megalomania is an irresistible desire to set on fire. Mutilomania is an irresistible desire to mutilate. Trichotillomania is an irresistible desire to pull out body hairs. This is an irresistible desire to perform a perverted sexual act. There are also some suicidal and homicidal impulses. Let's discuss medico-legal importance of impulse. Here again, McNaughton's rule and section 84 IPC comes into play. Lucid interval is period of clarity of thought between two subsequent episodes of mental illness. This is seen in many illnesses like head injury or bipolar disorder. It's obvious there is no exemption from the punishment. Mania is in a state of elevated and irritable mood with an increased level of energy, decreased need for sleep, and state of impaired judgment. This is commonly seen in bipolar disorders. The criminal intent is referred to as mens rea. In the last class, we learned actus reus, and the absence of any one of these will not lead to a crime. Oligophrenia is referred to as mental subnormality or mental retardedness, whereas oneirophrenia is an hallucinatory dreamlike state due to these causes. Phobia is referred to as irrational, intense, persistent fear from situations, activities, things, animals, or people. There are many types of phobias. Please refer to your textbook for the details. Psychosis is an abnormal condition of the mind when there is a loss of contact with reality. This differs from neurosis. A neurotic patient is believed to have insight into their illnesses, whereas a psychotic is believed to lack insight into their illness. These are few differences between neurosis and psychosis, and this table depicts example of neurotic and psychotic disorders.